Hello, Raindrops. Welcome to Government Minutes that Matter. This is Mr. A reminding you to take care of those big three right now. Like and share this video, subscribe to this channel, and click on that notification bell so you know when our videos come out. As always, this video is dedicated to the glory of God who blessed this land. I have to back up a little. In the last video, we talked about the expressed powers, and being that it was so clear, it's expressed, it's written, that there's no argument about it, that Congress, yes, does have this power. And I talk about Congress having power a lot because our founding fathers were convinced that the legislative branch, the Congress, would be the dominant branch of government, being that they were, through the House of Representatives, the most responsive to the people. So when I talked about the express powers, I talked briefly about the power to tax and power to establish a post office. But there's others. There are 18 different things listed in the Constitution that Congress has the power to do. Those are expressed powers, powers Congress has that were given to them in the Constitution. So I'm going to go over just a few more to illustrate the point about express powers. So Section 8 of Article 1 says the Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises. Congress shall have power to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of the United States. But all duties, imposts, and excises shall be uniform. Congress shall have the power to borrow money on the credit of the United States. They do a fine job, don't they? The Congress shall have the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among several states and with the Indian tribes. Congress shall have the power to coin money, regulate the value thereof, and to fix the standards of weights and measures. The Congress shall have the power to provide for the punishment of counterfeiting the securities and current coin of the United States. So I think I went through the express powers way too quickly last time. I wanted to revisit that a little bit. And again, bring up the one I brought up last time, the very last example I gave, to keep in your mind when we came back to this. The Congress shall have power to establish post offices and post roads. So it's expressed that Congress has the power to do this. Congress has the power to establish a post office. So let's talk about that for a moment. It's expressed they have the power to do this. So wherever you are right now, wherever city, town, state you live in, think about the nearest post office to you. Go on a mental field trip to your local post office. It wasn't there all the time, was it? I mean, it just didn't come with the land, did it? So how do you build a post office? Well, first thing you have to do is buy the land. You have to have a place to put it. And forgive my building ignorance if I get any of this wrong. But you have to hire an architect, a general contractor, a subcontractor, or many subcontractors, to do all the things that it takes to build that post office. So why isn't that in the Constitution? Why isn't buy the land in the Constitution? Why isn't hire an architect in the Constitution? And think about a modern post office. You have electronics and lighting and air conditioning and plumbing and locksmiths and tile people and concrete porters, and you have parking lot striping. You have flagpole manufacturers putting in the flagpole, buying the flags for the flagpoles. You have camera systems, you have masons, you have glass people. It takes a lot to establish a post office. But Congress has the power to do that. So why isn't all of that in this? Because this would be the size of the Oxford English Dictionary if you had to cover every single thing it took to establish a post office. So this is a way Congress has power as well. It's called implied powers. If you have the express power to establish a post office, it's implied you can do the rest of those things to make it happen. There's no need to go into every minute detail about every single thing in the Constitution. But if it says you have the power to establish a post office, it's implied you have the power to buy the land. It's implied you have the power to hire an architect. It's implied you have the power to hire a general contractor, etc., etc. So the implied powers are used to carry out the express powers. So there you go. We've covered express, we've covered implied. Next lesson will be inherent powers that governments have. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you paid attention because there will be a test at the next election. This is Mr. A reminding you that we, the people, are the government. We'll see you next time.